What's happening, folks? I'm back at you. I told you I'd get back to you on the Ryker. I know that I had an issue. One of my videos, my last video, the one before that, I was out riding, just kind of giving you a preview of some rides. And as it was just getting going, you know, what would have it? The thing breaks down. Literally, the check engine light came on, and then it shut off at a stop sign. I was like, what in the world? Like, it had never happened to me before. And so I was confused. I was sitting there going, what? And sure enough, it wouldn't start. And so I had to push it off to the side of the road and went to find out what it was. And come to find out, it was me. The issue was not Can Am. It wasn't the equipment, it was me. I had installed the lights and the horn, and when I did that, when I connected them to the battery, the negative side battery, I stripped the nut that was on there. And somehow I got it to, you know, connect, but it really wasn't secure. And, you know, hitting bumps and so forth, super shout out to Mark. He told me, he said, hey, when you broke down, you did hit a bump. And he was right. That bump, it jiggled that connection just a little bit more. And so what happens on the Ryker is it's very electrically sensitive. And so the battery cable got a little disconnected. And you know, even on a car, if your battery cables aren't really connected, you've got an issue. And so it was sending the wrong signals through it. It threw the engine off a bit, and so the bike shut down. And you know, when I had parked it and got it going again, it was because you know, obviously it was stationary. The battery was connected. Got home, check engine light was still on. Still couldn't figure it out. But I want to send a super shout out to Ryker Bike Shop. These guys just did a fantastic job. I literally went out this morning trying to figure out what it was, and literally drove right to them. Didn't call them, no appointment, just showed up. And the Ryker Bike Shop right here in Lansdowne, he said, well, let me look at it. They look at it, and sure enough, I was looking at the cable. I said, what do you think about this? And he said, that's it. That is the issue. Literally came and rewired my cables for me, and he got a nut. He shaved it down so that it could fit in there, put it in. I can't thank you enough, Ryker Bike Shop. Irv just has done a fantastic job with that organization. I mean, his spirit and his mindset really permeates throughout all the staff over there. I mean, just to take me in off the street just like that and look at it, stop what they're doing and fix it. It really is. The Ryker community is a family. It really is. And everybody's put in there for each other, really trying to figure out what we can do to help each other. So I really want to thank the Ryker Bike Shop. Hey guys, check them out. They're awesome. If you're ever in the Philadelphia area, they are worth stopping by just to say hi. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is, so what happens if you do break down? You know, I thought about this. I was like, wow, you know, I'm sure that many bikes that are out there, whether they get a flat tire or some engine trouble or electrical trouble or limp mode or something like that, what do you do? And so I thought I'd give you some tips on what do you do next. Well, first thing first is calm down. You know, you're on the road, you're having a blast, all of a sudden your bike shuts down or you get a flat or something along those lines. The most important thing in that moment is really to calm down. You know, you can easily allow your emotions to get the best of you. Why? You love the bike. You're fired up about the bike. And you paid a lot of money for the bike. And if it breaks, you're feeling it. But you know what? None of that is going to fix the situation. And so the first thing you ought to do is just calm down. Really allow your emotions to be settled and just go, hey, you know what? I'm in this moment and I'm going to make the best of this moment. A lot of times, you know, you can get too jacked up and fired up about something and mad and angry, and you miss the moment, because in that moment when you are stranded or broken down, you've got to be able to think clearly. And you can't think if your emotions are getting the best of you. So I really want to encourage you, hey, just calm down. It's not that big a deal. Many people across the globe break down, and it's going to be okay. You're not in the Mojave Desert with no water, right, or shelter. So the first important thing is just to calm down. Well, why is that so important? One, you can think straight. But number two, depending on where you break down, there's other cars, other vehicles on the road, and you need to be able to think clearly on how you can move your vehicle off safely in a place where you can be safe. So the second thing is really got to get to a safe place. The thing you got to focus on in that moment is, okay, I'm stuck here, but right now, the most important thing, the most valuable thing right now is my life and my safety. So I've got to think clearly about how I'm going to move the bike to a safe area. And there's a couple of things. One, if the bike is too heavy, say you're on a hill or something like that, first thing first, get that emergency brake on, get off of the hill as far as your physical body. Step back from the bike. Hey, look, the bike causes traffic, somebody hits the bike, that's just what it is. You don't want anybody hitting you. Step off, get on the sidewalk, get off to the road, off the side of the road, evaluate the situation. Say, man, I'm on this hill, I can't push this bike myself. If you're frazzled, you're gonna try and push a 600-pound bike up a hill, and that's pretty challenging. Get off to the side on the sidewalk, assess the situation, go, man, I can't push it up by the hill myself, so let me stand back and look for someone that could possibly assist me in getting the bike off of this hill. The bike doesn't have hazard lights. There are a couple videos out there where you can get hazard lights, but this doesn't have it. So you want to be able to assess it, and that's why it's so important to calm down. Don't get frazzled, losing your mind over it. Hey, it happened. You're in that moment. How can I take advantage of this moment that's really bad, and I don't want to compound it with another issue? So once you figure out how to get the bike on the side of the road, for me, it happened that it was right at a stoplight. It was somewhat of a slight decline, so it was really easy for me to get off, motion to the traffic to come, move forward, go ahead, and then I was able to roll the bike off and just sit there. Once you get the bike in a safe place, just take a moment, breathe, say, okay, what's going on? In a car, you got to have spark, and you got to have fire, and you got to have gas, if that thing's going to start up. And so you sit down and go, okay, let me just assess what's going on here. And so I sat there, fiddled around through the sequence of trying to start it, did not start. So I sat for a second, let the bike sit. Because sometimes, sometimes it's just something electrical, which it was. I didn't know that. And I let it sit, and all of a sudden it started back up. And I was like, wow, okay, it started. I'm not too far from home. And I see if I had power, and I was in a parking lot, so I tried it. Hey, it worked. I said, well, okay, well, why don't I try and go home? And I went home in a route that I knew there were a few service stations on the way. In the event that it happened again, that way it could be an easy way to pull off to the side, leave it at a service station until I could get it to a proper Can Am service team to work on it. So, once you calm down and you're there and you go and you can start it, okay, start it. And if it can get home, get home. But if it can't, what do? Well, AAA, there's AAA. There's also roadside assistance. I paid for, I think, 2 years of roadside assistance. I actually called them once, like a couple of weeks after I got the bike, because my friend had a Spider and he broke down, and I was with him, and they said they would pick him up and take him on my account, which was pretty awesome. It worked out. We fixed his bike and we were able to drive home. We were all the way in Delaware. Now, usually I believe when they'll tow you, I'm not sure that they will take you. And thank God for Uber, right? Uber is here, or a family member that may be relatively close. But Uber's a great way. Public transportation in Philadelphia, public transportation is everywhere. Yeah, is it a pain? It is. Is it a disruption in your life? Yeah, it is. But you know what? Let's not lose the moments. Yeah, as I was saying, my battery died, so I had to get a charger. So often we can lose the moment. Something like that that's very unfortunate can just ruin your whole day. And then those hours that you're in that mental state really mess up opportunities for you, and so I just decide, hey, this stuff happens. You mechanic. It's man-made, so you know it's not going to last forever. Granted, it's brand new. You don't expect that. But sometimes things like that happen, and we've got to be willing to get in the right mindset when we have a problem. And so that's the way I tend to look at it. So what do? So you get yourself in the right mental state. It's happened. Make sure you can safely get to a place where you can evaluate the situation, then safely get your bike off to the side, and then assess what's actually happening. Is this a situation I can fix here? Is this a situation where it's a flat tire, I can fix it flat, or is it I've run out of gas? Is it a battery issue? You assess that. Then once you figure out if you can get home, hey, what's the quickest way for me to get home so that I can really get my bike prepared or repaired? And then thirdly, if you can't get home, AAA. There's AAA, there's roadside assistance. Then once you get that, you figure out I need a ride home. What's the best way for me to get home? And once you get home, then you can evaluate, what do you want to do? Did I want to tow it to a shop? Do I want to get it home and really look at it myself and see if I can figure this out? Or do I want to leave it at a local shop that's close and then call them in the morning and say, hey, I had to drop off my bike there. I'll be coming to get it in the morning. So you just get a better sense of it. And the bottom line is you get to live to ride another day. That's what's important. And sometimes unfortunate things happen, and that's just the way it is. And we've got to get up, dust ourselves off, and get moving again, because it's going to happen. I'm very thankful that this time for me, it wasn't something very complicated. It was very simple, and the issue wasn't the bike. The issue was me. Whenever you're tweaking these kind of instruments, cars, or things, you're adding things onto them, they're not designed for what you're adding onto it. They're designed as they come in stock. Now you can put things on them, but it changes the configuration of the engineers and when they did it. And so just be mindful whenever you're adding things, doing things. Sometimes that lends itself to some problems. As simple as the additions may be, it sometimes lends itself for other problems, and that's just what it is. And I'm thankful that mine was an easy fix. It was simple. Again, shout out to Ryker Bike Shop with Herb McCoy over there. They just did a great job in helping me out in a tricky situation. The bike is running fantastic, and thank you for all of you that supported me out there. Thank you. I'm going to be doing some rides. One of the things I'm going to be doing is taking the bike out to some rides and restaurants. And I'm going to go out on some nice scenic rides, finding some really cool restaurants out there, coffee shops. There's this one coffee shop way out in the Lehigh Valley area. I can't wait to take you out there. They got a coffee that is banging. It is banging. This coffee is pretty awesome. And I'm going to get to do that at some point here. But hey, thanks for all the support. If you like it, please hit the like and subscribe button. I want to get to 1,000 subscriptions. Let's see if we can do this. And, I'm just going to keep updating you on my journey with the Ryker. I'm going to show you what I'm doing, how I'm doing, the good, the bad, the ugly, and how I'm coping with it myself. But listen, thanks so much for joining me. You guys have been great. Your words of encouragement in the comment sections really inspire me to keep doing it. Keep writing. If you have questions, let me know. Hopefully I can answer them. I'm not an expert. I'm just one individual that is on the Ryker journey, and I'm enjoying the ride. Hey, take care. Have a great day.